Every family has its secrets. Locked away behind our front doors are the hidden pasts, the buried scandals, and the life-changing decisions that have shaped our families and our nation.
Dad was a rabid anti-Semite. And I suspect he was helping the Nazis.
So your father was under surveillance in 1959. The spying story doesn't end with the FBI.
Jesus.
The big question, who is my father and how do I find him?
I just desperately want to know why she ended up in Fremantle jail.
Every Family Has a Secret uncovers the extraordinary stories behind our everyday lives. This time, 2 Australians seek answers about their parents' criminal past.
Oh, God. Jeez. That's shocking. It's like Dad's a gangster.
Sydney man Lance Innes investigates the double life of his absent father.
Your father's case went as high as the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover.
It is cloak and dagger.
And Perth journalist Michelle White uncovers the secret her mother took to the grave.
The maximum sentence is imprisonment for life.
Throughout my life, I've not really known much about my father because I was only 18 months old when he left Australia. I didn't have a role model. I didn't have a father. Certainly I had this drive to know more about him so I could know more about myself. I want to find out what he did. The guy's just the mystery man. He's just full of secrets.
In 1956, New York-born Alan Gorsey arrived in Australia. And over the next 3 years, he married and he had 2 children. But then he abandoned his family and simply disappeared. Recently, Lance has discovered his father is named in declassified FBI files. So now he's determined to uncover whether his father was a spy or a con man or both. Lance.
Hello, Noni.
Hello, yes, nice
Hi,
to meet you.
come in.
Thank you very much. So, Lance, it seems there's a lot to unravel about your father's secrets. Well, let's start at the beginning.
The names, it's a string as long as my arm. But he started off Samuel Schnitzer. Changed his name to Alan Wayne Gorsey, but he also kind of doubled up as Al Wayne. He was also known as Jose de los Reyes. I've got this photo. So I'd say he'd be in his early 20s.
There's an incredibly strong likeness there with you.
Yeah.
He died quite young, didn't he?
Yeah, he died in 75. He was 47.
So the research that you've already managed to do has uncovered other marriages with other children. So how many families that you know of did he have?
4.
4 families, 4 wives?
Yep. That we know of.
That you know of?
Yeah. My understanding is his first wife was Filipino. Mm-hmm. He'd had 2 children with her. We found out that there was another wife who was also Filipino, and then he'd had 2 children with her. And then came us. And my mum fell in love with him. Within 3 days, he'd asked her to marry him, and pretty quickly had 2 children, Alana and myself. And then he left us and he went to Puerto Rico, remarried, and had 2 kids.
All those poor mothers.
Yeah.
So the stuff you uncovered in the declassified FBI files, how did that come to your knowledge?
It would have been about 4 years ago now, and I just stuck his name in Google, Alan Wayne Gorsey. Bang, enter.
What did it tell you?
There was plots, there was kidnapping, there was ammunition running and all this kind of stuff.
Right.
Don't know the detail on that,
Yeah.
but he was named in those files.
What do you think he was doing?
Well, I kind of feel that he was, doing some intelligence one way or another. But I could be wrong. He could be just, a good con man.
Chancer?
Yep. Could be a bad businessman. Or it could be all of that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the daredevil life of an international spy that led Al Gorsi to abandon numerous families around the world? Or was it something far less romantic? The impression of his father that Lance grew up with is of a man who wanted to leave his mark.
Mum said that he had that distinctive New York accent and people were drawn to him. He was charismatic, was very intelligent. And from my understanding, he was a well-known broadcaster in the Philippines.
Al Gorsi served in the Philippines during World War II. He stayed on after the war, marrying twice and working as a radio broadcaster, at this stage under the name of Al Wayne.
Hello, Lance.
Hello.
In Sydney, Lance is catching up with Benji Diobago, who's worked in the media department at the Presidential Palace in Manila. Lance's dad once worked there too.
Wow, there he is.
His radio role giving him a pass to the corridors of power.
I think this is the president of the day, wasn't it?
President Elpidio Quirino.
Right.
That's him.
There and there. He has a relationship with the president. He's right there in all of these shots. This is amazing. This is amazing.
I don't know if you've seen this.
A letter written in 1950 shows Al had ambitions for that relationship to grow even closer.
It's addressed to President of the Republic of the Philippines. Your Excellency, being a New Yorker at heart, I encountered very little difficulty in making arrangements to represent the New York Daily News in the Philippines. In the past, Mr. President, I feel you have known me to be on the side of truth and justice. It is my firm conviction that you will have been denied your true share of glory and honour for the marvellous job you've accomplished in the Philippines. Respectfully yours, Al Wayne, Production Manager. Wow.
What do you think of that?
All of these photographs and this letter in particular shows that he's not backward and coming forward. He's not afraid of, going to the top guy.
I really think he was trying to ingratiate himself with the president and saying, look how big I am.
Offering his services to the president was not the only way Gorsi was trying to establish himself as a player. He'd entered the business world.
I'll show you a timeline. The activities of your father from 1948 to 1956. That he was in media, but suddenly he was also in business.
Gorsi and Partners run a business, Cardinal Rattan Factory. So 56, in May, the Court of Appeals in the Philippines fines against the business and orders.
Gorsi's company owed their bank 6,000 pesos, worth around 40,000 Australian dollars today.
This is showing that that business failed. And for whatever reasons, he's left.
Split.
Yep, he's split.
And he's got 2 wives that he left behind.
Yep, 2 wives he left behind, that's for sure.
And children.
Yep. There's a pattern that is kind of clear. He marries and deserts. And then he came to Australia, did the same thing with my mum and us. He leaves Manila and services in Australia in October 56. When Mum met him, he was very kind of secretive, I would say, about his activities. I don't think Mum really even knew what he was doing. I mean, she knew that he was a broadcaster. And she knew that he was in business. But I don't really think she knew what the details of that business was.
Chasing success as a businessman, Al Gorsi will find only trouble. As history repeats itself, Lance learns the truth of why his father walked out on his family. On the other side of the country, another Australian is keen to discover the secrets of her parents' past.
Kaya Wanju, Wajak Bucha, everyone. Hello and welcome. I am Michelle White, daughter of Mary Yvonne Driscoll.
Journalist, art publicist and proud Yamaji woman Michelle White is launching a photographic exhibition celebrating Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander women. For Michelle, it's a passion project, honouring her role model, her late mother Yvonne Driscoll.
My mum passed away 5 years ago, and she was just the most incredible woman who endured so much. She's really one of these triumph over adversity stories. She was incredible, and there's not a day I don't miss her.
But as close as the two were, Michelle's mum had a secret.
My mum, as a young woman, she ended up going into Fremantle prison. She made me promise that I wouldn't go digging into her background until after she'd passed away.
Respecting her mum's wishes, Michelle left the mystery unsolved. But Yvonne's death in 2012 allowed a door to the past to be opened. And now Michelle is ready to uncover the truth about her mum and to confront the secrets that she kept hidden from her daughter all those years. So, Michelle, tell me about your mum.
My mum, born in Geraldton, midwest of WA, and family lineage is Yamachi. She was just an enigma when I was growing up. She was really, really complex, funny, but sometimes she would shut down for days. Like she would just go into herself and just wouldn't want to communicate with anyone. She was an amazing mum, but she couldn't show affection. And I suppose that's part of the reason I wanted to do this, is I just want to understand more. There's only one photo from all of her childhood. I'm not even sure how old she is. I'm thinking maybe like 11 or 12, maybe.
She looks like an angel. Now, her dad was a white man?
Yeah, George Driscoll. Sounds like he was a bit of a scoundrel.
Oh, in what way?
He sort of trained Mum and her brother to be thieves on his behalf. Like, the place where he worked, he would smuggle them in through like a little like trapdoor area kind of thing and steal all the pay packets and then crawl back through a little hole and give them to him. So he was, clearly a rat bag. I think at around this age, Mum was taken away. She was put into Sister Kate's, which is a children's home in Perth. She spent a lot of time in solitary confinement for being bad. There was a concrete box that had bars at the front and she would just have to sit there and think about what she'd done wrong. She used to run away so regularly, the authorities called her the homing pigeon. Oh. That was her nickname.
Right. So she was well known to the local police?
Oh, to everyone, yeah. And because she would always fight, like she would never go without a fight.
Yes. How did you find out that she'd been in prison? She told you?
Yeah, much later in life. She admitted that she'd been in jail. I'm thinking it's about 5 years that she was in there. To be that long, it must have been something serious. Yeah, it's just sort of got to a point now where it's like, if I don't, I've just got to know. It's time to know.
To better understand her mother, Michelle wants to find out more about her British-born grandfather, George Driscoll. It was his bad influence, she suspects, that sowed the seeds to her mum's downfall. He taught Yvonne how to steal, then walked out on the family.
I want to know more about his story, and because with Mum it always felt like, don't go there. Like she wasn't interested in that part of the story because she felt abandoned by him.
Michelle's travelled 90 kilometres south of Perth to the Kingsley Fairbridge Farm School.
Hello. Hi, Michelle.
To see historian Dr Deborah Gare.
There's clearly evidence that your grandfather was one of the child migrants of the 1920s.
Oh, wow.
And the reason that we brought you to Fairbridge today is because this is where he ended up.
So was he an orphan?
No. And in fact, most of the kids who arrived in Fairbridge weren't.
Opened in 1913, the farm took in underprivileged children as young as 4 from the UK, sent under various child migrant schemes. The intention was to skill them for life on the land. But many former residents have revealed stories of poverty, harsh treatment and abuse. George was just 11 when he arrived at Fairbridge.
We have a photograph of him when he was here at Fairbridge.
Oh, good grief. I'm nearly 50 and I'm seeing my granddad for the first time.
Can you see any of your mum in him at all?
Yeah, definitely.
Like other Fairbridge boys, Michelle's grandfather George was billeted out as cheap labour to nearby farms.
What we have here is a file note that his employers report back to the school about George with.
This boy I returned after giving him a very fair trial. He could do just 2 things well, kill and tell lies. I wish to return him. Oh my goodness. This lad is unsuitable. Again, unsuitable. Oh my goodness, this is just horrible.
Yeah.
It is really horrible.
Yeah.
I have tried my level best, but cannot make anything of him.
Like he's just a piece of property to send back. Oh. I wish my mum could have known this. I think it would have explained a lot. Yeah. You know, it probably would have broken her heart to read this kind of stuff that's written about him, but maybe her opinion of him might have been a bit different. So this is a letter in George's own hand.
So he's written a letter to the school. If anyone thinks I'm going to toil 14 hours a day, they are jolly well mistaken. I suppose you may think I am just lazy, but I am not that sort of thing. I know I'm not welcome back at the school, and what's more, I'm not coming back. I don't like the school and never will. Oh, goodness. This is my mum's defiance.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm really surprised the similarities between the institutionalisation. Yeah, both products of flawed policies, lives that have pushed into a direction that possibly made them into what they were. Yeah, I'm really just quite taken aback by the fact that his life story, to me at this stage, seems to have a lot of similarities to Mum's.
Like her father, Yvonne Driscoll railed against authority. But what did she do that took her to the brink, landing her in one of the toughest prisons in the country? Sydney man Lancinus is trying to unpack the mysterious life of his father, Al Gorsey, who abandoned Lance's family in 1959, when he was just 18 months old. Before arriving in Australia, Al had been a radio broadcaster and failed businessman. But what of his business affairs in Australia?
I grew up not really knowing a lot about what my dad did in terms of his business and what his occupation was.
Lance has been put in contact with Lorna Bruce, the widow of his father's Australian business partner.
Lance.
And a former work colleague, Brenton Clark.
Last time I saw you, you were a baby.
You did? You actually did meet me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah? That was nearly 60 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
You possibly remember that person?
Oh, golly.
They knew his father by yet another alias, Hal Gorsey.
We socialised on a couple of occasions. Yeah. Your mum was lovely. Your father was harder to get to know.
Yep.
Almost as if he sort of held himself back.
Lorna's husband Max was a successful business owner who came under Gorsey's spell. They formed a company to make a new type of record, an invention they hoped would take the world by storm.
It was a gimmick, I think, in the first place, and then they used to put them in magazines. They made thousands of them.
Hal could have sold to anybody. He was that type of man.
In an era when things were made to last, Gorsey and Lorna's husband Max were dreaming big with their disposable record, good for 5 plays.
Wow.
I'm haunted.
So Presto Disc.
Yes, that was the company.
What happened to the business?
Well, things just seemed to go awry, and the whole thing finished with a bang.
Did it?
So Max found that Hal was taking more out of the account than the arrangement that had been made, and this had been exceeded on numerous occasions. He reported it to the police.
So he was charged with embezzlement?
He was charged, yes. And then there was nothing left to keep the business going.
Really?
There was sufficient debt to wipe out our side of the business as well.
It's not easy for me to hear what he's done. If he hadn't have embezzled, he possibly could have still been around, and I, might have had him in my life as I was growing up. Now seeing these patterns emerging, business failings, of leaving families. I don't think that he was an honourable man in a lot of ways. It's a bit heartbreaking, really.
Lance's father had stolen £500, equivalent to 9 months' salary for the average Australian.
Hello, Lance.
Yes.
At the Sydney Police Museum, former Chief Inspector Ralph Staveley has a copy of Al Gorcey's rap sheet.
I have a few things to show you. And we'll start with that.
Oh my God. Jesus. That is just, that's shocking.
It's like something out of a movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like your dad's a gangster in a way.
That was an official police photo. It was taken in 1959. He's bailed to attend at Central Court of Petty Sessions on the 18th of November 1959 for fraud as a company director. But he doesn't appear, and a warrant's issued for his arrest.
Sayonara. Never to be seen in these shores again. Wow.
It wasn't just the police searching for Al Gorcey. He had deserted his wife and 2 young children, and now Lance's mum was trying to serve him with divorce papers. Last she'd heard, he was somewhere in America.
He wrote to her stating that he would bring the petitioner and the children of the marriage to the USA. The petitioner immediately wrote to the respondent asking him to return to Australia and stand his trial. She said she would stick by him. Wow. Wow. That is just so touching for me, you know.
You'd be less than human if it wasn't touching for you. Yeah, it's pretty confronting stuff.
Yeah, it's very confronting. Jesus. Mum was a dedicated and devoted wife.
Yeah.
Despite everything.
And she's got the young family.
Yeah.
And you're the ones that she looked after, and you're the ones that she saw through.
I mean, he's just left Australia. And he's just left his 3rd wife and his 3rd set of children. Good God. Who is this guy?
In December 1959, the FBI was asking the same question. In Western Australia, journalist Michelle White has come to the State Library to discover why her mum, Yvonne Driscoll, was sent to jail. All she knows is that she was sentenced early in 1964.
A bit of trepidation about what she did. I think that's going to be really a bit confronting. So these are microfilms from the West Australian. Got 1964 in here at the moment. She must have done something pretty full on to have ended up in Fremantle prison. I'm hoping there's no photo. I think I would find that a bit hard. Oh, found it. Man bashed and robbed, court told. Oh, wow. Premeditated. It was a setup. Oh my goodness, he received a broken nose, 2 black eyes. Detective Sergeant Walker claimed Driscoll said she wanted to get a sucker to obtain bail money for a friend who had been arrested earlier that evening.
The newspaper states 4 young men and 2 teenage girls were involved in the assault and robbery of a motorist who'd given the girls a lift.
There are co-accused listed in here. She allegedly said in a statement, Alec dragged him out and grabbed him from behind. Oh, here we go. Then I hit him several times in the face with a beer can until he went down. I feel a little bit sick. This shows me like a colder, more calculated side to her that I don't know of her, yeah. It's not my experience of her. Yeah. Oh, well, this is what it was all about. She said, I'm really worried because you're going to find stuff that's not true. But I suppose what I can't get my head around this is that this is her admitting in court and her statements in court. And I don't have her here to talk to about it. I feel like I met my grandfather for the first time yesterday. And now I feel like I'm meeting a whole different mum. Could be a whole other level to this story that I don't know.
One of those charged alongside Michelle's mum has agreed to reveal what happened on that fateful night. Bernie was a young man of 21 in 1964 when a night out with mates turned bad.
So, Bernie, I'm really interested in why we're in this particular kind of car.
Well, this is the sort of car we were in with some mates, and the three of us were trying to get hold of some beer.
Just cruising around on a Sunday night.
So we worked our way over here, and somewhere close to where we are, and on the left-hand side, there was two guys pushing this van. You know, I said to John, we'll go and help them push the car, and they might be able to put us on to where we can get some beer.
Yeah.
So we went down there and we pushed, and this guy said, oh, I won't go. Can you give us a lift? Because a guy just picked up our girlfriends. Is there any chance of you giving us a lift to where they're gone? They just jumped into the back and we took off. The big guy, he was a Norwegian seaman, built like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But he's given directions.
Michelle's mum was one of the girls in the car ahead. When they finally caught up to them, the two guys who had hitched a lift with Bernie, the Norwegian sailor and his mate, leapt out and attacked the driver.
We stayed in the car. Next minute, there was a whole lot of noise going on.
What noise?
Oh, he was getting bashed. He was getting bashed. There was two Aboriginal girls and the big guy and his mate, yeah.
One of them was my mum. Had you ever met her before? Had you ever seen her before?
Never seen her in my... No, neither of them.
I got to see the article about what happened for the first time yesterday. It says that my mum is the one that beats him in the face until he dropped.
Personally, I don't believe it. The big guy was the instigator.
I don't know, I just didn't want to believe that my mum had done that.
Don't. That would be a story from the detectives. She would have copped a hiding to make her sign a statement, because I copped a hiding. Then he made the statement out and said, sign here. And I just, I'll sign it. And that's the worst thing I've ever done.
My mum had a lot of run-ins with the police. She'd been in and out of institutions. I couldn't imagine her just fessing up to all of it.
Well, she's a bit like me, determined not to sign it, and in the end you end up signing it. We all got charged with the same thing, robbery with violence in company.
What happened with court?
I had Judge Virtue, and he turned around to the jury, and his words were, I expect you to come back and find them all guilty.
I really do appreciate you sharing that.
I have helped you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Making me, he'll get tears in my eyes, eh?
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
No, well, I feel good now. I feel better that at least I've helped you.
Yvonne Driscoll was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years jail. At rock bottom, after years in and out of government institutions, she was about to enter one of the toughest prisons in the country. Lance Innes's father, Al Gorsey, walked out on his Australian family in November 1959 with a charge of embezzlement hanging over his head. As was his style, his escape was sudden and dramatic. The declassified FBI files that Lance found online reveal that Al Gorsey boarded a ship bound for the USA as a stowaway.
Gorsey said that after the ship had set to sea about 4 hours, he was able to get out of his place of hiding. He adopted the name of Jose de los Reines, a Cuban national, because he entertained the idea of possibly contacting the Castro government in Cuba and seeking employment with them. Another name, Jose de los Reines. That's pretty crazy stuff.
Once on American soil, it wasn't just his new identity that caught the attention of the FBI. Gorcey was walking into one of the political flashpoints of the era, the Cuban Revolution.
Pleased to meet you, lads.
To explain his father's appearance in the FBI files, Lance has sought out an expert in US-Cuba relations, Professor Philip Deary.
This murky, shadowy world that your father entered was one in which there were very few certainties and in which alliances kept shifting. He was someone who was a witness to an historic moment.
1959 was a tumultuous year in Cuba. On the 1st of January, US-backed dictator Batista fled the country, defeated by Fidel Castro and his revolutionaries. Cuba-US relations soured as Castro sought closer ties to the Soviet Union. The US government placed Castro's leading military representative in Washington, D.C., Captain Ángel Saavedra, under surveillance. The FBI was tuning in when Al Gorcey approached Castro's man Saavedra to offer his services to the Cuban government, as their case notes show.
Have a look at this document.
Okay, jeez, wow. In November 1959, Gorcey contacted him and discussed arms and ammunition. Gorcey asked Saavedra for money and stated that he could work in the capacity of an intelligence agent by infiltrating anti-Castro elements in the US.
But rather than spying on the anti-Castro faction, based in Miami, Gorcey went to them, pledging allegiance to their cause, thereby double-crossing Saavedra and his master Fidel Castro.
Gorcey remarked that he was deceiving Saavedra since he desired to overthrow Castro due to his dislike of communism. You know, I wonder, was he working for the Cubans or was he working for the Americans? There was a double agent sort of play going on here.
Which deepens the mystery surrounding your father in terms of his motivations and ultimately what sort of person he is.
He seemed like he's a mercenary in a sense.
Well, that's a dangerous game, playing both of these sides, because people were regularly killed, were murdered. But it's interesting that this, your father's case, went as high as the director of the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover.
This is from Hoover, is it?
From the director himself.
This is an urgent memo. Alan Wayne Gorcey, ascertain subject's whereabouts and his immediate plans. Also ascertain if subject was in contact with Cuban government officials. Keep Bureau advised of developments until this matter is resolved.
J. Edgar Hoover in 1959 had an enormous number of issues on his plate, but this was one that he was following and wanted more concrete information about. There is another FBI file on your father, which is yet to be declassified.
The FBI has revealed that Al Gorcey's name appears more than 100 times in other classified documents. At this stage, it's unwilling to release them. But FBI agents weren't the only ones watching Gorcey.
We thought that the story ends there, but I'd just like to show you a photo.
God. What's that all about?
What it is an ASIO surveillance photo. So he was
You're kidding.
No, he was under surveillance before he left Australia by the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation.
A man believed to be Alan Wayne Gorcey.
So your father was under surveillance in 1959 in Australia by ASIO. The spy story doesn't end with the FBI.
Jesus. I'm dumbfounded by the whole thing. There's a lot to suggest that he was a con man. And now it's swinging back, you know, there's this whole spy interest sort of rising again. So I want to know more about what was going on with the ASIO.
With the world in the grip of the Cold War, intelligence agencies were on high alert. What was Al Gorsey up to that was ringing alarm bells at Australia's Secret Intelligence Agency Bureau?
I'm Meredith.
Dr. Meredith Bergman has spent years researching ASIO and has taken a look at Al Gorsey's newly released file.
Well, this is the photo that you've already seen.
Yep.
But here are a whole series of photographs, and they're taken in a Canberra street in September 1959. And he's on his way to visit the Russian embassy.
Good God.
The Soviet embassy.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Seriously? My God. This is just crazy, Meredith.
Now, would you like to have a look at why we believe he was under surveillance?
This is a secret document. The visit to the Soviet embassy by Alan Wayne Gorsey. An unidentified person who refused to disclose his name sought an interview with a member of the Soviet embassy, which he described as most important. This person, who was described as having an American or Canadian accent, subsequently visited the embassy. He circled the area in a car and appeared to indulge in elaborate evasive action.
The Cold War's at its height. All the red flags were up. We know that he was wanting to meet a particular person.
Kurdyakov and Skripov were within the embassy building.
We believe that your father met Skripov on that occasion.
Gorsey had sought out the Soviets' top man in Australia, Ivan Skripov. Skripov's suspicious activities had him already on ASIO's radar.
Skripov was the first secretary and later found to be the KGB person within the embassy who later gets expelled.
Good God.
What was he doing?
Yeah, what was he doing?
What was he doing?
Well, he's doing all this while he's on bail for embezzlement in Sydney.
A very interesting character, your father.
He's probably driven the family car down there as well.
Yes. Well, he has.
At 12:08 hours, a Vauxhall Velox bearing New South Wales registration was observed to enter the embassy. Checks with New South Wales upon the car registration revealed that the owner of the vehicle was Alan Wayne Gorsey, so not real smart for someone who's trying to sort of be elusive. The suspect's actions on leaving the embassy left no doubt in the minds of the surveillance officers that he was engaging in counter-surveillance measures and that he apparently suspected that he was being followed.
They seem to be implying that he knew how to do counter-surveillance, that somehow he must have had some training. Was he working both sides? Was he a double agent? Was he a single agent? Or was he just a guy who, with a bit of an adventurous spirit, who wanted to be involved?
Whatever his motives, Al Gorsey's activities threw the spotlight onto innocent players, his family.
Travel control inquiries at Pan American Airways revealed that Alan Wayne Gorsey is at present in Havana and has advised Pan American Airways Melbourne that he will finance the fares for his wife and 2 children. The tentative bookings were made for the 23rd and the 30th of June for Mrs. Gorsey and her 2 children to travel to Havana. However, these bookings were cancelled because of failure to pay. Wow.
And you're one of the 2 children?
Yeah, yep. I'm one of those kids. I think the hardest thing for me to read today was the surveillance on the family. Yeah. I was quite sort of thrown by that. To know that they've got the Australian Security Intelligence Organisation looking at us as a result of what he was doing with the Soviets. He was careless in the sense that he didn't really look out for his family. He kind of exposed us. In some ways, ignorance is bliss. I could have gone through life, you know, romanticised what my father could have been or what he might have been. But, you know, he's hurt a lot of people. As his son, that's really hard to kind of accept.
In spite of the trail of destruction his father left behind, new and unexpected relationships have been created.
I've discovered a whole new family that has popped out of the woodwork, really. There's brothers and sisters that, you know, none of us knew about each other.
Lance is heading to the country of his father's birth. The city of New Orleans in the USA is the meeting point for a remarkable family get-together. For the first time, all of Al Gorcey's surviving children will be meeting up. 6 children from 4 wives from 3 different continents. Lance's younger sister Alana is joining him for the occasion.
It's amazing.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
A bit nervous and a bit excited, and I'm really kind of keen to meet them.
Yeah, I know.
At the same time, I'm terrified.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
You're right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love you.
You too.
Here we go.
Oh my God. My God.
Oh my God.
Gail and Cliff are the surviving children from Al's first and second marriages in the Philippines.
Nice to meet you.
Audrey and Arlene from Puerto Rico are from family number 4.
You are just a mirror of him, whatever I've seen. Oh my God, you're scary.
Besides siblings, there's more family to meet. Partners, cousins, nephews and nieces.
These are my sisters from Puerto Rico.
Oh my God. Hey, you want to sit here? When I showed the pictures to my mother, she loved this photo of your mother and him. Yeah. That brought back memories.
Well, as it turns out, he loved a wedding.
Cheers.
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 My brothers and sisters.
When we look at the photographs and we share these experiences, the dots are joining and it's starting to sort of map out a story.
Probably among all the siblings, you're the closest in resemblance to him. So there's that really strong connection that I can feel him through you. Whew.
Oh, my nephew.
This meeting is actually a big healing for me, for all of us actually.
Why, it's welcome.
I do feel kind of like I'm walking taller, kind of more confident, just, I don't know, kind of really happy. I am really happy. We've got a new big family. It's the living family. It's the brothers and sisters who never even knew about each other.
Yes.
I don't think anyone will really ever know what he was up to. He's certainly left his mark. And I think that this was rooted in the past, but this is now about the future.
For Michelle White, the troubling revelations about her mother's past linger on.
Massage. Thank you.
She's come to Fremantle Prison, where her mum, Yvonne Driscoll, was jailed for robbery and company in 1964.
So how are you feeling about being here?
A little bit of trepidation, a little bit anxious.
This is what was Fremantle Women's Prison.
Into the cage.
Yeah.
I actually am shocked at just how dungeon-like and medieval it is.
And the section we're in now is one of the oldest parts, pretty similar to what it would have been when your mum was here.
New government policies introduced in the 1950s brought more adverse change for Aboriginal people. Dispossession of land, ongoing systemic racism and cultural erasure saw an increase in the rates of Aboriginal incarceration in Western Australia. While making up only 2.5% of the state's population, during Yvonne Driscoll's time in prison, Aboriginal women accounted for 64% of female inmates.
Parole board case history. Oh, wow. I just just feel so sad seeing mugshots. And she just looks so miserable, pissed off with the world, and so young. Driscoll trial judge's comments. Yvonne Driscoll, you have pleaded guilty to robbery in company. The maximum sentence that can be imposed on you is imprisonment for life. God, imagine standing in the dock and hearing that at 19. It was you who lured this unfortunate man into a lonely and unfrequented spot where you and your 5 companions beat him in a brutal and cowardly fashion. You are sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. It is only your youth which saves you from a more severe penalty. The judge's comments are really severe. There is definitely a sense of it's predestined from the environment that she's grown up in. Released on parole, 8th of the 6th, 1967. So she was sentenced to 5 and released in 3. The fact that she was released in 3 means that she must have really turned herself around in here to have got parole.
In a life where the odds had been stacked against her, how did Yvonne Driscoll turn her luck around in this, the most unlikely of places? Yvonne Driscoll was sentenced to 5 years in Fremantle Prison in 1964. Having heard just snippets from her mum about her time behind bars, Michelle's hoping to find out more. She's meeting Pauline Isles, whose mother Jean was the prison matron.
Hello. Hello, Michelle. I'm Pauline Isles, Jean Isles' daughter.
Matron Isles.
Matron Isles' daughter.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's lovely to meet you, it really is.
I just feel so grateful to meet you because Mum only ever had beautiful things to say about your mum. They had a connection, or maybe she was like a mother figure.
Over and above everything she did for all of the inmates, she had a huge empathy for the Aboriginal girls.
Well, see, I've been trying to figure out fact from fiction. One story that was always repeated, that Mum told me that she had a 21st birthday party thrown for her in Freo jail, and she thought she was the first person to have a 21st. She was?
She was, yes. But my mother was a person who greatly believed in people having as normal an existence as possible. I've actually got some documents for you.
This document is a progress report, and it's an assessment of where she's working. And I just can't tell you how happy it makes me feel to see positive things written about my mum. Driscoll responds to kindness. Do you know what? From everything else I've read, there wasn't an awful lot of kindness happening in her world. She's a perfectionist, and all of her handiwork has proved herself a very honest inmate.
And she's at that level when she is discharged for parole.
So I'm going to read the last paragraph of her parole plan. From the age of 19 to 22, Miss Driscoll has been in prison. She has realised the seriousness of her previous behaviour, has an excellent prison record, and understands the requirements of parole. I recommend that she should be released.
Yvonne was released on parole in June 1967, and not long after she met David White, the man who became her husband and Michelle's father.
And I have the final release, which I'm sure you'll find interesting.
28th of May, 1969.
It's a significant date.
This is remarkable. A few days before I'm born,
she gets
a short note from the system that she'd been a part of since she was, 11, 13 years old. Dear Yvonne, just a short note to tell you, although I'm sure you need no reminding that as of today, your parole is finished. May I wish you all the best for the future.
And the end product was this gorgeous child, together with a piece of paper that gave her the freedom.
Freedom, yeah.
And the freedom came, and then the bubble.
Yeah. So she was a free woman when I was born.
She was indeed.
Hello.
Michelle. It's your
Hello,
parrot.
welcome.
Oh, and the puppies. Oh, good to see you.
Oh,
thank you.
You've got the full welcoming committee, all of you. Come on in.
Come on in, boys. Do you feel like you understand why your mum asked you not to investigate until after her death?
Oh, absolutely. It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Part of the reason my mum didn't share a lot of this with me in the past was because of shame or embarrassment, and maybe I did carry a bit of that. But that's definitely lifted now, and I'm glad that it is.
Do you have any regrets about doing this at all?
Absolutely no regrets whatsoever. It's been tough seeing what she was involved in, but ultimately I'm so glad to actually have that information.
Do you feel like you have a different assessment of your mother?
Yeah, do you know, I have so much more respect for her. My mum made a decision that she was breaking that cycle. It ended there, and it did. She actually had a major life shift and turned everything around. No other run-ins with the law. She just went on to live a suburban life. She pretty much, well, made sure that I had the childhood that she didn't get to have. I had institutionalisation on both sides. I was like, could have been stacked against me, but my mum made sure that it wasn't, and I'm ever so thankful.